right, so we just got done watching the final episode of Wandavision, so episode 9, cleverly titled, I believe, episode 9.
Yes, the series finale or something. It was like some weird name.
Something like that. It was just like a real generic name. Not sure what to think of this episode, to be honest. It's kind of a letdown, but only mostly because of all the hype surrounding the show.
Yeah.
It's like all these rumors leading up to it about, they're going to introduce the X-Men, Doctor Strange is going to come in, like this and that. None of that happens in this episode. But to be fair, none of it's actually set up either, except for the Quicksilver thing. That, I think that's legitimately the biggest letdown.
Yeah, that one.
That Quicksilver turns out to be some guy called Boner.
Ralph Boner.
It turns out, I guess that's Ralph as well. So,
it's Ralph and Boner.
Ralph turned out to be nobody. Quicksilver turns out to not be Quicksilver, despite having
some random guy
powers.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I don't understand. Did the artifact that maybe Agatha must have put on him made him
gave him Quicksilver powers?
Have him turn into Quicksilver, because he had super strength and also super speed,
right? But the weird thing is Wanda recognizes him immediately when he showed up, because she knows, she's like, Pietro, and it's but it's not Pietro, it's random Ralph Boner. He
didn't even wear his clothing or anything. He just has a random guy.
Yeah, she should have saw him in the doorway and been like, who are you?
Who are you?
Why would she think that's her brother? Because he doesn't look like her brother.
Yeah.
Unless
Agatha was putting a spell or something on her.
Maybe, I have no idea, but it's weird. It's very bizarre. It's almost on Trevor levels of nonsense.
Yeah.
When they pulled the Mandarin bait and switch thing in Iron Man 3. Very reminiscent.
It does have that.
It was very much like that. He even kind of acts like Trevor, or he's just this useless stoner kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's I didn't like that. That was kind of...
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's that's such a good build-up that they just kind of... I don't know if it's wasted, or unless it's not having everything, which... I don't know. It's kind of weird that one person's house was it was a stoner house the whole time too. So I don't know where he even lived at. He just lived somewhere. Just lived some random spot.
That was weird.
That she couldn't get out of his house for some weird reason.
Yeah, what was that?
She was trying to say, Wanda, and just you can't get out. I was
I can't hear you. Why not? That didn't make sense.
Why don't you just leave? I mean, it's just the house. I mean, it's a stoner house.
Yeah, that was weird. The other thing was weird. White Vision shows up.
Yeah.
Then he fights the regular Vision in a scene that was stolen scene for scene from Man of Steel.
Yeah, pretty much. That was Man of Steel. Literally, Man of Steel is this version of Man of Steel.
Yeah, the whole fight with Vision just seemed like Man of Steel.
And I was told you were powerful.
Where is the codex?
I almost thought he was gonna break his neck at the end because he got him in the chokehold like Zod.
Yeah.
I was okay.
And then he used logic to beat him.
He defeated him with some Plato
Yeah.
philosophy or
Plato philosophy beat him.
Ship of Theseus or something.
You are familiar with the thought experiment, the Ship of Theseus, in the field of identity metaphysics. The Ship of Theseus is an artifact in a museum. Over time, its planks of wood rot and are replaced with new planks. When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus? Secondly, if those removed planks are restored and reassembled free of the rot, is that the ship of Theseus? Neither is the true ship.
Question. You take a broom, you replace the handle, and then later you replace the brush. And you do that over and over again. Is it still the same broom? Answer, no, of course it isn't, but you can still sweep the floor, which is not strictly relevant. Skip that last part.
Yeah.
And I guess he imparted his memories into him, so I guess that's Vision now.
And he was saying, like, I guess that vibranium or whatever that stuff can hold storage. It's like a storage device.
Yeah,
like a big USB stick or something.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's basically Vision without the actual Mind Stone.
Yeah.
But otherwise is, for all intents and purposes, Vision.
Yeah, he said he's like now Vision.
But then he just flew away and disappeared.
Yeah, he was like, screw Wanda, I'm leaving.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, why isn't he there at the end? Like, what? And then the kids vanish completely because we always assume they don't exist at all. But then there's a post-credit sequence that kind of suggests otherwise.
Which, yeah, I don't get that part because it showed the scene before when she was trying to take this barrier down.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the Vision and their kids were like dying, like literally like just like disappearing. Yeah. And so I don't know if they're supposed to be alive, or like they're still alive, or they have like a different dimension they live in.
And then there's there's that, and then there's the weird part where she thanks the children for choosing her to be their mother. It's like,
yeah,
did they have a choice? Like,
yeah, they had a weird thing.
Are they actually a thing that exists that is inhabiting those forms or something?
Yeah,
because I know, like in the comics, they're somehow created by like a piece of Mephisto or something.
Yeah, Mephisto basically took it, and then that was part of the Agatha storyline, I guess.
Yeah, that's like the Marvel's version of the devil. So, like, are these some kind of demons calling out from hell or something?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, that was weird. And then Darcy shows up. She was apparently driving that van for like the last 3 episodes.
Yes.
And then she just wrecks her van into the car when Hayward or whatever that guy's name is tries to escape at the end. So she catches the villain, though I guess the true villain of the show was him. He was the only one that was like truly 100% villainous.
Yeah, he was just like, screw that.
And so Darcy shows up, saves the day, and then just completely pieces out.
Yeah, we don't even see her after that.
She was like she's in this episode for 2 seconds, and the 2 seconds she's there, she apprehends the main villain of the series.
Yes, I did.
Darcy Lewis. What an absolute legend.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have Agatha, which turns back to Agnes.
Yeah, Wanda defeats Agatha after a big witch fight where they just throw energy at each other.
Yeah, they throw energy at each other.
You have all this like magic stuff, and your final fight is just like throwing laser beams at each other.
Yeah.
You couldn't have done anything more creative. Like
lightning bolts.
Doctor Strange fights were so much more creative than.
Yeah, because he had like multiverse shattering pocket dimensions.
They're using magic, but their magic is just hurling Hadokens at each other.
Yeah, pretty much. With the exception of maybe Agatha, because Agatha was like sucking in energy, like just.
Yeah, she's got
like that. Android 19 or whatever Android.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we find out that Agatha, I guess the situation, I mean, Agatha obviously was a villain because she came into the Hex looking for the energy. Like, she was following Wanda's energy.
Yeah, trying to find Wanda.
And she wanted to, like, absorb the energy, but then the whole episode before this was to find out where the power came from and what Wanda's power is. And then when she found out what Wanda was, then she fights her. Because it's like she finds out that she's the Scarlet Witch or whatever. And then,
and then we find out from last episode Scarlet Witch is a very like dangerous, and it's like actually like taboo, and even witches is a very taboo subject.
Right. So then Agatha changes modes from I want to absorb your power to
you need to be stopped.
Yeah. Save all these people that you've been torturing.
Agatha's fighting Wanda to save the the townsfolk of Westview.
Westview, New Jersey, of being in New
Because she's
Jersey.
like, yeah, to save, because Wanda's like, I saved you people. I keep you safe. It's like, from what?
Yeah, I mean, Westview does look like a pretty big dump. But
Well, yeah, that's true. But
that's it.
they don't seem to be like they were in any particular danger.
Yeah, they were just like, we live in this dumpy town. That's it.
Like, that's not true. I'm gonna save you all.
Fine. You're fine. You're all going to be fine.
When you let us sleep, we have your nightmares.
No, that's not true. I've kept you safe in here. You feel at peace.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
I have a daughter. She's 8. Maybe she could be friends with your boys. If you like that storyline. Or the school bully even. Really anything. If you could just let her out of her room. If I could just hold her. Please.
What are you doing to her? You're making her say this.
You turned her against me! You have done that yourself.
She's your meat puppet. I just cut her string.
So that was my takeaway from the show, basically. Darcy's an absolute legend, which I already knew that.
Yeah.
And Agatha did nothing wrong.
Yeah, Agatha was just there all along.
It was Agatha all along, and
Yeah.
she was actually the hero of the
She's
story.
like the hero because she saved the town. She literally saved the town.
All the townspeople from Wanda, who's actually like a horrible person.
And all the townsfolk are like, I just see your nightmares every time I go to sleep.
Yeah, she's basically been torturing these people for like the last several weeks or however long this has been happening. My other question too is like Wanda just literally just standing there in a foundation of an unbuilt house this entire time.
Yes. That's what I thought though at the very end when she was just standing there. She was just like, the house was just like empty lot. Just
standing in that empty lot for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like anything changed. Like it was the exact same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that was weird. And then I guess, is there anything else we need to talk about before we talk about those post-credit things?
Scarlet Witch is very powerful, more powerful than Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, they did say that because she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And also she's like she talks about like the dark hold or whatever, because we know why she always talks about the Scarlet Witch all the time.
Yeah, well, the dark hold's kind of one of the post-credit things as well.
Yeah, that's a press credit scene too.
She's apparently like Goku in the sense that she can just like learn a technique just by looking at it.
Not even for 5 seconds. It's just like she saw it like very little.
Yeah, because Agatha trapped her in the first place because she had some runes set up and made so only her magic would work, but she never taught Wanda how to do that. And then Wanda basically just does it at the end on a massive scale.
Yeah, massive scale somehow.
It was like, oh, okay. One of the post-credit scenes is we find out that some character that Monica is involved with is actually a Skrull in disguise. And tells her
it's like one of the agents or something.
Yeah, and tells her that somebody who's a friend of her mother wants to talk to her, but it's a he, so it's not Captain Marvel. So I'm assuming she's either referring to Nick Fury, who last time we saw was on the Skrull spaceship, or that other, like the leader of the Skrulls, who like
that guy
or something.
Yeah, Talos or whatever his name was.
Whatever the heck his name was. Flurkin.
Yeah, Flurkin.
If the Flurkin wants to talk to her.
Yeah, so that's probably a direct setup for either
probably
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because we know Captain Marvel 2 is part of Phase 4.
Okay.
And then the other one starts with Wanda. Looks like she's like in her like regular sweat clothes, like pajamas or whatever, just chilling on her apparent like log cabin she's got in the lake somewhere in like Canada or Norway or something.
Yeah.
And then we pan back into the house, and that's actually just like a puppet or something of Wanda, and the real Wanda is like in the back corner of the room being all creepy in the corner reading her demon book.
Yeah, her Book of Sins or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Book of the Damned.
Yeah, it's the Darkhold, but also known as the Book of the Damned, which apparently in the comics was created by like the MCU version of Cthulhu.
Yes.
So she's basically reading like the Necronomicon in the corner.
Yeah, in like a dark room.
In a dark room.
And that's when you hear like the kids start calling out.
That's when the kids start calling out. So that's why I'm like, are they like in hell? Like what's going on?
Yeah, that's the one thing. It doesn't make any sense because we obviously saw earlier that the kids disappear. Was disappearing when the hex was over with, or like when she was like pulling the huts apart.
That's their physical form, but like I'm assuming the souls came from somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like she just adopted a couple of demons or something, and then they disappeared.
Those demon kids.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that, but here we are.
Which is it does open up a lot of questions. It's almost like needs to give you explain a little bit further.
Oh, it definitely does, but I feel like this is obviously a lead into Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that was a Doctor Strange moment. The first one was like a Captain Marvel
moment. Yeah. The thing that's disappointing about this series is that it didn't really introduce the multiverse that everybody thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Because we got the one thing was the Quicksilver thing, and that turned out to be a red herring. Yeah, so we didn't get the multiverse thing. So now, since considering how wrong these leaks were, is Spider-Man actually a multiverse movie? Or
yeah, I wonder.
Because that was never really confirmed that we're getting Andrew Garfield and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah, they still don't have that.
We get so many people from the other franchises in that episode, but then if this guy turned out to be Ralph Boner, those guys could be some random nobodies too.
Yeah, just some random nobody that no one's ever going to see ever again.
Just a whole bunch of random nobodies that happen to be the same people from the other timeline.
Yeah, you'll have like Magneto or something, and it'll just be like
he'll be some guy,
a random guy, or like Patrick Stewart will come in there, just like F-bomb and everything, but it'll just be some random old man.
Yeah, exactly.
With dementia.
Yeah, it'll be like in Logan.
Yeah, Logan, who's like some random old man with dementia, and that's like it.
But yeah, I don't know. But that's the thing. Like, I'm hesitant now, much more hesitant now to jump to conclusions and be like, oh, well, Spider-Man is definitely the multiverse.
Yeah.
Even though everything's pointing to that, but everything pointed to that for this as well. So.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of I'm kind of curious if this is going to be. The only thing with Doctor Strange specifically having their title, the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, that one has to be about the multiverse in the title.
So it has to have unless they multiverse means something else.
Unless it's also a fake title and it turns out that it's actually called something else.
It's like Doctor Strange and the Necronomicon or something.
It could be like a working title, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Because that's the only thing I'm kind of because of Doctor Strange's movie and their title has already been released for that.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of
it seems like the post-credit scene in this is setting up Wanda to possibly be the main villain, or at least partly a villain for Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
which was a rumor that happened a long time ago.
That was a rumor for a while ago about
there was going to be
Wanda being the bad guy,
or possibly.
Oh yeah, possibly the bad guy, or at least
a villain that could potentially be turned to good. Just almost it's sort of like almost like Dark Phoenix saga or something for like
almost like that saga without the X-Men again. Like, where's the X-Men even going to show up at? I don't think the X-Men are going to show up, which is going to be so weird.
Well, yeah, because the perfect place to introduce them would have been the Quicksilver thing.
Yeah, Quicksilver, or even like her kids, but their kids are like dead, but they're not dead. They're demon children.
They're demon children.
So basically, all X-Men are demons at this point.
Yeah, possibly.
That's basically what they're saying at this point. But it's kind of like, okay,
it's very strange.
Yeah, it's a very Doctor Strange.
It's very Doctor Strange situation. They name drop the Sorcerer Supreme in here, which is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So I do feel like they're setting it up that they're gonna fight each other. But they said that she's stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, so maybe Doctor Strange is the one that actually brings Agatha back.
Yeah, that could be the case because Agatha knows all about that.
Right.
And there was a leak about something about like I can't remember. I haven't watched Doctor Strange in so long. But I guess like the Forbidden Books. A couple of them were like just like one of them was like missing. And a lot of people were speculating that was supposed to be the Darkhold book.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know because they were like saying something was like missing or something. It was like a forbidden book, and I'm imagining that's going to be a forbidden book. But
I would imagine that would be a forbidden book, and then
Agatha
has it for some reason, so she must have stolen it.
Unless Doctor Strange finds out about Agatha, because he would probably know about that type of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But for the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange does seem to have a lot of missing information. So
yeah, he's not a very supreme on his intelligence there. I guess we'll have to see about the Winter Soldier. I don't even know if that's even going to be a part of any of this stuff.
I doubt that's part of this, but who knows?
Yeah, unless they have to like mention it maybe they might mention something like, oh, there's something going on.
Since this was kind of a bust in the multiverse terms, unless they retroactively mention something later on and they reveal that, the Quicksilver really is Quicksilver and that the Ralph Boner thing was like some persona that somebody made up. The only one that I can see before Multiverse of Madness, assuming the Spider-Man thing isn't true, would be the Loki show.
Yeah, Loki probably would be it because that's like the original Loki, isn't it?
Yeah, Loki potentially has more to do with the multiverse than Wanda because Loki is an alternate Loki from another timeline.
Yeah.
Because we're following the Loki from Endgame who like took the Tesseract or whatever and disappeared from the timeline.
Yeah.
It's actually the Loki from the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, like the original Loki.
Original Loki, but from like an alternate timeline where he disappeared and didn't get taken back to Asgard.
Yeah, that's probably the only other spot other than Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's so weird to be doing
the
multiverse other than the whole Spider-Verse thing, so I guess
that's the only thing is like a Spider. Yeah, it's the only thing with Spider-Verse that they could possibly introduce that. Or Loki would definitely be the only other spot they could possibly do it. They couldn't do it in Winter Soldier because that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Hawkeye doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the Loki show or the Spider-Man thing that introduces the concept. And then, like I said, they could retroactively come back and say that some of the stuff in WandaVision was the multiverse all along, but they just
that could possibly be.
They didn't realize what it was. Because if it turns out that all these Spider-Man dudes are actually from alternate timelines, then the Boner guy definitely is actually Quicksilver from another timeline.
Yeah, he just like maybe he got there somewhere and he had to be a persona. Like he kind of acts like the same one from the X-Men. Because the X-Men one, he was just like a very hyperactive person that lived in his basement.
That's true. Yeah, he does have a similar personality.
Yeah, he has a similar personality still because.
And
I could see him saying, "Do you like Steven Seagal movies?" That's the thing. I could see that.
Yeah, and then he's got the superpowers too. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense. He's like, if he's a random guy, why does he have super speed and just super strength?
Super speed, yeah.
Just like random guy.
But by itself, I guess we'll finish up here because we're just rambling.
Yeah.
Like, what would you give this show as a whole, like as a rating?
Before the last episode, I would have probably given it probably an 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
But with the ending, I'd probably drop it a point or 2.
Yeah, that's what
maybe
I was thinking.
6, 7, maybe. I'll probably do 7. 7 is fine. It's good. It's still decent. It's a decent show. It's just that ending is just like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking a lot of the disappointment is from leaks and hype that didn't.
That didn't have like some things that could have happened.
Yeah, but it's not the show's fault that people thought X-Men were showing up or whatever. So I'm leading still to like an 8 maybe because how good the acting is and the story is really well done. So I guess like if you're gonna give it a 7, I give it an 8. We'll give it a
it's still pretty decent. Yeah, it's like
7.5-ish.
It's still pretty good. Like it's a pretty entertaining show.
Yeah, no, I mean,
which is
the acting is good, and I'm sure once more stuff comes out in the other movies,
Maybe make more sense.
it might make more sense, and there might be stuff in here that turns out to actually be something.
Yeah.
Because that was the other thing too. Like, what's up with Senor Scratchy?
Yeah, I know. It's like they never explained
Just,
that.
like, eats birds or whatever. Like, what was that?
Yeah, and apparently Senior Sketchy is actually something like a big name character during
Well,
that.
her son's like Nicholas Scratch or something.
Yeah, and that's kind of weird. It's like, why would Agatha pick this random person again? That's like, it goes back to that point. Why would just Agatha just pick some random person to be?
Yeah,
it still does that. It's like, doesn't make any sense.
It's weird. I think it's a show that people are going to be talking about for a long time, but
Yeah,
it's not like a Last Jedi situation where it didn't break the the franchise.
Yeah, I guess that's probably their goal too. At the same time, they probably wanted something that's kind of like, okay, people are going to talk about this at least a little while.
People are going to talk about it, and if there are mistakes in this show or whatever, they'll probably get fixed down the line. Like,
yeah,
because we were complaining about, like I talked about before, the Trevor situation was probably the most divisive thing in the MCU up to that point, when they did the bait and switch for Mandarin. But now we are getting the real Mandarin in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So, like, they obviously knew they screwed up, and they've been laying the groundwork for this for quite some time, because they had like a one-off thing with that Trevor character where they blatantly mentioned that the Mandarin is real and out there. I guess we're giving this show a 7.5 out of 10, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see about the next movies and stuff, because it seems like it's on the right track. At least Disney, like Marvel, like it always is.
Still not bad.
Yeah, it's still not bad, and actually was pretty refreshing.
I wouldn't say this was a misstep on Marvel's part.
No.
Like I said, most of the reason why people are going to be disappointed is unrealistic expectations and hype and leaks that didn't turn out to be true.
And also, a lot of people were like, which I still find funny, like the first 3 episodes, a lot of people hated the show so much because of the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, stick with the show. They're building up for things.
I did like how they build it up. I actually liked everything except for this episode, and I don't hate this episode.
Yeah, same here.
It's
just like
lacking a few things.
Yeah, lacking, and it opens up more questions again, and it opens up more questions, and it's like, it doesn't really wrap anything up.
No, and because there are questions, I am wondering if some of that stuff will get answered down the line, and it'll
probably
improve the quality of the show. Like, we're giving it a 7.5 now, but if they start answering questions later on, it might go up to 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah,
someday. All right, so I think that's about all we can say about WandaVision, the show, and the episode. And I think next week is our Marvel bye week. So
there's like nothing. I don't think there's really nothing going on next week.
You get a break for a week, and then the week after that they start Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we'll be doing these weekly reviews for that as well. So
yeah,
guess we'll see you then.
All right, see you.